Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the season finale of Tier 3 MRC. We are here under the evening sky in a very dry Jeddah circuit. Welcome, welcome, welcome one and all. We have seen action-packed earlier this week in Tier 1 and Tier 2 Monday night. And I am joined tonight with special guest. It is none other than Mr. MRC himself, Tier 2 champion. Not just drivers, but also constructors as well. It is, of course, the one, the only, Mr. Martin Hills. Good evening.
Evening, Mark. I'm ironically here as a last-minute replacement.
Yes. But always a pleasure to have you aboard, and always enjoy you when you join in the commentary box. So welcome, and it's fantastic again to have you.
It's been a little while since we've had an evening together like this, isn't it? Actually, it's been. I've been on with Gav quite a lot recently, so it's been. We've been missing each other.
I know we have, yeah. And like ships in the night, I think we have. You could say.
This is all starting to sound worryingly romantic.
Yeah, we'll move on from that.
Yeah, Gav will get jealous. Careful.
Yeah, we can't let the banshee jealous.
He'll be sending around some Glaswegian heavies to sort you out.
If not, he'll just probably pop in the commentary and go, "Aye, what you doing?" and disappear again. Yeah, we did have Gav lined up for Tier 3 this evening, but it unfortunately had to work late, so obviously super sub.
Let's not get overexcited.
So we've got this evening cars on track very early and very quickly out. A lot of drivers, most of them pretty much out on the medium tyres as well, maybe just getting a feeler for the track. It's not something we've seen really in Tier 1 and 2, this many.
No, I mean, there's a lot of track evolution here, a lot. I mean, that last few laps, the track is running so much quicker at the end of the session than it is at the start. It's crazy. I think you're talking probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it was as much as a second. Yeah,
you're probably not far off with that. We saw it, especially through the Tier 1. The drivers were jumping up and down the timing screens, and very difficult to actually keep up. To be fair, but
I mean, the other thing that you got to consider is it's so easy to invalidate. So you kind of do you gamble on running as many sets of tyres as you can and being on the track as much as you can and guaranteeing getting in the times that you want in, or do you think to yourself, hang on, do I be kind of conservative, keep some tyres back because the safety car probability is super high, because the more fresh tyres you've got, if you have more safety cars, the better positioned you are for the race.
Exactly. No, exactly right. And we've had, dear John, I've got to come up with a nickname for him, parked in a dangerous location. So that's unlucky, because I'm sure he'll just be letting drivers past wherever he was in the track. That's so unlucky.
Yeah, I think he was sat on the outside of turn 1, actually, waiting to let some people past.
Oh, that's devastatingly unlucky for him. So I'm going to have to come up with a nickname for that. Where's Gav? King of the nickname. So he'll be starting from the back, but we're on board at the moment. Following round, Dak Convertible, the first one who will complete a time lap. He's on the soft compound tyres. A few reserves to talk about this evening. Would you like to go through, tell the ladies and gents who we have?
I will try, because we've got quite a few of them. So we have, I'm just going to kind of run down the list down the side of the screen as best as I can. We've got Dariog, who I know has been getting called all sorts of nicknames recently.
Yeah.
I think he's been getting called Derry Girl, but I believe he's Welsh, so I'm not sure that fits. But he could be Dario G, if you like your bit of 90s dance. Or was it 2000s? It's probably 2000s, isn't it? We also have Campus South, which I'm guessing is probably somebody from French France, as is Jeddah, who is the first person who's gone out of the session, obviously. We have Queen Lizzie, as Connor calls Licious V.
Yeah.
And who else is in as a reserve tonight?
We have Julian Schoon, who's currently in second place on the medium tyres. That's a really good lap on the mediums, a 30.7. And, of course, last minute Manful Wasp as well, current provisional pole. Before Konichiwa beats him by over a second. So 29s we've hit now, folks. We'll probably not, as you mentioned with the track evolution, I imagine that will soon drop down into the 28s. But good luck, that.
Yeah. There's some people here who are very capable of getting into those 28s without any issues whatsoever, I think. It's a funny old track. It's very difficult to get a rhythm going, but what I actually found was doing multiple laps helped. There's very little drop off on the tyres, so doing the traditional kind of out lap, fast lap, in lap isn't really necessary here. I did 3 hot laps. Oh, Kellogg's is out.
Yeah, that's turn 23. I mentioned it as on in Tier 1. If you clip that inside curb, it is flat out, but if you try to be greedy, take the inside curb, you can hit the wall, and it looks like Kellogg's has done that this evening already. Maybe just the mediums that do take that extra lap to warm up, and that could have been the case there as Dario G goes into second with that lap.
Excellent. Yes, it's good to see that we've got a mixture of people from sort of tiers 3 and 4 in terms of reserves, or people who are eligible for both as well. So I think it's going to be quite a mixed up grid of people here, because we've obviously got a few people who are making the move up permanently in this race as well, haven't we, I think?
Yeah, we've got, of course, our champion Bergen, and I think Mindful Wasp is in the running to be promoted as well. So it's going to be good to see how they get on with battling with the Tier 3 drivers that are going to be, of course, racing full time with next season.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I was just starting to say that we've got a crash. How has that happened? We've got people smashing into each other just before the pit lane entrance. There's 3 cars round. One of whom was Konichiwa. I'm not sure who the other 2 were, but it was definitely Konichiwa, and 2 other people were all piled on top of each other in the last corner in the entrance onto the straight.
Wow. Okay, so luckily it won't hamper their running, because unlike career mode, it doesn't take any time off you for repairs, luckily, so they'll be able to jump straight back out. Or as Gibbons got his teammate to try to avoid, who finally gets out of the way, but he was half a second up. As you mentioned, track evolution. This will put him well into the 130s if he managed to hook up the last sector, and he does it! He spun out the last corner and hit the wall and damaged his wing.
I hope his teammate wasn't onto a hot lap there, because he's hugely compromised him if he has.
Luckily he was onto an in lap and into the pits just as well, really, with that one. Wow, that was so unlucky. He was up on that lap, and as we're going to join the Tier 3 Champione, he is out on his out lap. Pardon me. But who else we got on? Before we mentioned Camper South on his debut, I do believe. So it's going to be good to see how he gets on, invalidated on his outlap. And he's joined back on, and there's a damage to the Haas following him. 5 place penalty. That's Boothie as well. Boothie was on a hot lap, and I think Camper South got a little bit squirrely on his outlap, and then just caused the damage as well. Boothie 5 place penalty, I should say. I'd have to say, not really his fault, unfortunately, as both come diving into the pits.
Yeah, I just caught the tail end of that. He's just taken out the pit limit board as well, which is not going to make him popular.
No, looks like he's glitching a little bit. I don't know if he actually is, but it did look that way.
So, I think we have... there's a few people who are actually doing as I suggested there, and doing multiple laps, I can see. We've got... Julian Schoon has actually just pitted in after 3 laps on those mediums.
I think that's not a bad shout for the mediums. They do seem to get a bit quicker, at least the second lap.
And I think Lizzie is also on a second lap, I think, on... Actually, no, can't be the run out of DRS, I think. That's strange.
Yeah, it does look like he's done 1 lap currently on those soft tyres. But on board with Bergen again, who's going again for his hot lap. It's gone purple first sector.
Keep up with, because whenever you flick to anyone, it's really hard to tell where they are at first glance, isn't it? Because it's
he's invalidated. Oh, unlucky. Yeah, you're right. Guess you think, and luckily we've got the track map, I should say, on full the bottom right hand corner of your screen. But yeah, it is. You're right. That's I think. I mean, I found it. I don't know about yourself. When you first do laps of this, I got lost.
Oh yeah. There's no landmarks.
No,
especially once it gets dark, you can't tell where you are unless it's really down to learning the actual corners to know where you are, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes you don't know if you're in. I didn't know if I was in sector 1 or sector 3, and I just had it's like, oh no, the next corner's a braking zone. No, it wasn't. It was flat out. And then vice versa. I think, oh no, this is flat out, and then next thing you nose first into a wall. Go, oh, whoops, missed that one.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think once you've learned sector 1, you've pretty much got it.
Yeah, because there's 2 light braking zones, isn't there? After that, that's it. After the hairpin.
I mean, you got to get the technique for the rest of it. But in terms of like committing things to memory big time to get yourself going, it's just sector 1 really. But when you are watching it or when you're driving, if you didn't know where you were, you've got nothing that would tell you. It's I think it's a bit like a Formula E track, which the reason one of the reasons I can't watch Formula E is it just looks like they're driving around a car park with barriers. They could be anywhere. It frustrates me that they go to all these amazing places and all you see are barriers and concrete blocks everywhere, and this is what that track's like.
Yeah, or they're trying to use somewhere that's got a straight, so it's normally just a seafront. So all you see is sand and sea and a few big buildings. You don't actually see kind of the landmarks that you point out.
No, I mean they're racing around the centre of Paris, and you can't tell. It's sort of just renders it a bit redundant to me. Anyway, that's enough of that rant.
It could be the middle of Leeds.
It could be. Maybe it is. It's all a lie.
That's a facade. It's green screen in the background. That's all we got.
So who's coming on to a lap then? We've got Dariog is on to a hot lap, I think. He's in sector 1 right now.
Yep, I've just been informed I forgot to post it to the link to Discord, so apologies for that. Just done that now. Whoops. Thank you, Matthew, for that one. Yeah, let's go.
We're just about to complete sector 1. What's his time going to be like? He is up by half a second, so he's on a good lap here. This could be a pole if he can stay on top of it.
Yeah, Bergen's popped it into second, only 1600s further back from the early lap time. Kenichiwa Beach is also now on a lap. Bergen's forced to do 2 laps though on those softs. But you're right, the can last as he invalidated. No, well, we're seeing invalidations at that corner, so he did well to get away with that.
That was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, he must have just backed off a little bit to get away with it.
Well, you've got 2 white lines, haven't you, on a lot of the curbs? There's an inside white line, which is the true white line.
Yeah, like there, for example, and it's very confusing.
Yeah,
completely different to any other track.
And it's only where you have the sort of the red and white hash markings with the white line only on the track side of them that you've got the sort of defined inner track limit. It's really weird.
Oh, if that isn't confusing.
This is looking good.
It is, there we are. Wow.
Yep, straight to the top. To the top by a hairy old chunk. That's impressive.
It was. Let's see, what's Kenichiwa Beecham? He's down on this lap and invalidated, so he looks like he's going to dash to the pits, get a new set of soft tires. Bergen's pitted. Let's have a look at Keisa Zoze. He's been absolutely rapid this week.
I just flicked to him at the same moment as well.
Yeah, down currently, so Licious Fees is in the 5th.
Good lap.
Yeah, very good. This is on a fast lap. Simba is currently in 9th.
Kaiser just coming through to complete.
Mark just clipped the wall a little bit with tyres, so no damage there, no harm done. Bit of clear track ahead. He will come up to, looks like a Haas, maybe just a bit far ahead. A little bit deep into 21 through 22 and 23. Keeps well away from that curb. There was that caught out Kellogg's early on in the session.
It is very easy to just lose concentration for a second here and clip a wall. Sometimes you can get away with it. Sometimes you can't. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, you sometimes can ride your luck a little bit too much, as Simba does. He pops up to 8th. He improves by nearly 4 tenths. unfortunately, don't think he'll have time to get round and get back out. 22
Delicious
minutes
V
51.
was on a hotter lap, but has invalidated. I was just watching Queen Lizzie, who, was up, but lost it, unfortunately, in Sector 2. I say lost it. Didn't lose it. It just went outside the track limits.
Who else have we got? Dak Convertible on an out lap. Couple of people on fast laps at the moment. Ocean Thames invalidated. Let's have a look at Gibb, of course, Tier 4 driver, former Tier 3. Moved down, but having not too bad a time so far.
Simba's improving by 1/4 of a second at the moment.
And you mentioned again, second lap, and he's going for it again.
Yeah, I mean, I set my fastest lap on the third hot lap in a row. Actually, no, not in a row. I did a cool down lap in the middle.
It's one of those that, it's difficult because the ERS deployment does get used about where Gibbard is now, about 200, 300 yards before the end. Wow, good lap from Gibbard. Big improvement there, 7:10. He's up. Let's go back to Simba, as you mentioned. He's up on his lap. But yeah, you get use all of the ERS deployment just before the end.
Oh, he's aborted.
Huh. Maybe just thinking, actually, we'll save the tyres at the end of that.
He's out of fuel.
That's just unlucky.
he's got. Yeah, I think he was out of fuel. He's got full red on his fuel gauge.
We don't have telemetry now. We've got the telemetry engaged. So Ocean Thames once wide. Let's have a look. Who do we have? Who could be fighting now for the top spot? Bergen. He is just starting his lap now. Let's have a quick run on board as he comes into the middle of the first sector. As I mentioned, very tight, very technical. Get the flow right, though. It is very, very rewarding. And the time you can gain, especially, it seems to be turn 1 and 2. If you get that right, you can gain 3/4 tenths just off 2 very tight corners, which is a bit unusual.
I think Mindful Wasp is one to watch as well. He's 4 tenths up in the first sector.
Wow.
He's 8 tenths up in the second sector.
We might have to cut away from Bergen in a moment. Let's see how he gets on through the second sector. He's not really miles off finishing it now.
Having said that, I mean, if he finds another 4 tenths, it'll be 1.2 up, which will still not quite take him to the top.
Yeah, Bergen's down, unfortunately. Is he going to get out the landfill out of the last corner? Is he going to get distant toe? We'll have to wait and see, but will the deployment... There we go. Deployment has been used of the ERS. Holloway does have second. He goes up to 5th with that lap. Good lap.
It was. That's a good lap. I mean, it's... I don't think it's a track where you crucially have to be on the front row to win this race. It's not one of those. I mean... Safety cars. I mean, should we have a wager on how many safety cars we're going to have tonight?
Well, we had one on Monday. Mandy guessed. I think it was 3 and 1 virtual, and we had 1 safety car and 2 virtual. So, and then obviously Tier 2 was complete opposite. Skinichua clips the wall. Does a Max Verstappen on the exit. He's still got to go and finish his lap, though. He was close to being there. There we go. That probably cost him. Potential of closing the gap on Deriog. So there we are. I think, let's have a quick look. Mindful, yep, he's on a cool down. Collins Owl is up by nearly 4 tenths.
Or Colin has a elephant, as Jamie Bithell in the chat has called him.
He has an elephant, yeah, he does. I think Collins pretty much owns a zoo. So is he going to be having a giraffe, or is he going to be down in the dumps?
Ocean Thames coming in to make a massive improvement to his time at any moment now.
Perfect. Yeah, he's just following. Oh, and he's Collins has aborted. So and Ocean does. He moves up to 9th.
Good lap. Good lap.
Yeah. Colin, I thought he was up actually, Colin. So I was surprised he aborted that. Let's have a look. Mindful's just coming at the pits now. So there we are, folks. Everybody is over the line or in the pits. So there we are. Takes, I think it's his, what's it now, his 3rd race in MRC, and he's made in pole position with a fantastic lap, 28.595. Konnichiwa takes 2nd. Our T3 champ is 3rd, just fractionally behind Konnichiwa Beach and fractionally ahead of our reserve driver Julian Schoon. Fantastic lap from him. He'll be over the moon with that. Casey Jose in 5th. Mindful Wasp takes 6th. Queen Lizzie is in 7th. Colin has a giraffe in 8th. Ocean Tame, the Seaman takes. I shouldn't say that. That's a wrong name to come up with that. He's in 9th. Simba in 10th. SGPR in 11th. Gibbon 12th. Boothie, Carlin's Bit, Dark Convertible, T.Y. Claire, Stu Vine is next up, and then I do believe it's the two who did not. It's Luke Kellogg, Campus South, who had a 5-place penalty for that early collision with Boothie, and then Diudon. It might be a different word to pronounce that. Was it Diudon? Would it be?
Diudon, I think, isn't it?
Diudon, yeah. It must be French, so I don't do pronunciation very well.
Having said that, they have a British flag next to their name, so it's all a mystery.
Yes. We'll just go with Donny. Donny 23. Donny will do.
So Donny Osmond, yeah?
Donny Osmond.
Little Donny Osmond in 20th.
Yeah.
Ask your grandparents, folks.
Well, it is the nighttime race, of course, but it's looking a little bit cloudy up there. I'm sure it'll be dry. I'm sure Mr. Jenkins hasn't done a rain dance.
I'm pretty sure there would have been people jumping up and down in the chat telling us, oh my god, it's going to rain.
I think you're right, yeah. I mean, we can only hope. I think that maybe saves it for tier 4, so they normally get the best of it.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be quite fascinating to have a few forced wet races in some of these places that don't get wet. It would be, I think it could be quite amusing.
Yeah, let's go with amusing. Let's go with that one.
Not this one necessarily. I'm not saying this one.
No.
But, could be entertaining.
Yeah, we could do that off-season. Do something like that off-season would be interesting to do.
Mandy says definitely no rain.
No rain. Cool. That's okay. So let's have a look at the tyres. Only 5 drivers going for the mediums. That is SGPR, Gibbon, Boothie, Dark Convertible, and T.Y. Clear. They're the only ones, everyone else starting on the soft tyres. As Davey OG forgets to brake on his formation lap.
That's not so useful. Yeah,
no.
It's this is the sort of track where you could actually have a proper into the wall moment on the formation lap, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Excuse me, I'll be back in just 1 second.
So obviously we're heading round to the grid, but this what we've seen in the last few tiers is that the first corner has been quite hairy. I think in tier 2 there weren't any incidents at the front, but there were at the back. Tier 1 I think was all pretty clean, but it's definitely a corner where a lot of people all arrive at once. People are looking at the other cars and not the braking boards, and that can get you into quite a lot of bother. And this seems to be that first corner actually throughout the race. It's very, very easy to get suckered into looking at the cars and not the braking point. And if you're using the curb on the right hand side of the track as your braking point, and you decide to try to send one up the inside, it's very, very easy to outbrake yourself and cause quite a big moment for other people. And that is something which we saw happen in, I think, both of the other races so far this week. So let's hope these guys can keep it together for that one. What's interesting is we've got a lot of reserves in the top 10. And it's worth pointing out that there are a lot of permanent drives coming up. So these guys, if they can perform well tonight, they're really, really putting themselves into, if you'll pardon the pun, pole position to find themselves a permanent seat for next season. And we'll talk more about next season during the race at some point, because there's plenty of things which need to be discussed. But the overall message is, do a good job at the moment, be reliable at the moment, and seats are definitely available. Now, I don't know whether Mark's going to be rejoining us, but he's obviously got control of the camera, so I can't do much about that. And obviously we're about to start, so I cannot do anything about that. But we've got the lights coming on now. 4, 5. It's a long hold, and they're off.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. It's not very easy when your boss wings you. But there we are into turn one. We've got Kenichi Beach having a look around the outside. That's allowed Bergen to have a look through. A little bit of contact. Bergen has made it through on Kenichi Beach. Derry OG gets away with it. The other Alfa Romeo of Julian Schoon right behind, though. And if movement and shake is all the way up. Licious V, Queen is having a battle with the Ferrari of Ocean Tame. Gibbons had a big loss. He's down 3. Campus is up 1. Kellogg's had a poor start as well. Convertible and Carl Eden's having a battle. And a few drivers, Bergen going wide through there, trying to get the power down. And but all clean so far. Sorry about that.
There are cars everywhere at the back, but I don't think any of them are hitting each other.
Yeah, so could be avoiding action potentially. Gibbon must have had a moment. Gibbon is down. He's gone round at the hairpin. No damage to the McLaren. That's look. He had a really good. And he's burnt the tyres up. Oh, and he's on the mediums. That's so unfortunate. Hopefully he'll get himself going in a moment.
I think it's that convertible he was fighting with when he went round. Unfortunately, I don't think it was anything. It didn't look like anything. Unfortunate happened. It just looked like they were in a fight and he lost it.
Right, unfortunately he has got himself going. Those tyres will be absolutely fried right now. Must have been a bit of a moment because that gap between Licious V and Ocean Tame has really opened up. Collins Owl having a go. Case Sosa into the hairpin. Does no DRS of course just yet, folks. And a few people already ERS lights flashing, so they're going very heavy on this first lap.
Bergen may be about to make a move on Kenichi might be about to make a move on Bergen. It seems like he's got a lot more speed. And Dariog is driving away at the front. I mean, he's on the verge of breaking that DRS already.
He certainly is, and that's obviously what he's going to be pushing to do. I mean, but I've seen Bergen go wide a couple of times, so I don't know if he's on any ones just yet. Of course, like you mentioned earlier, you can get away with it, can't you? As Ocean Tame's pitted, he's had damage early on. He was battling, I think it was with, Licious V, we saw him, and I think Simba got past him.
Well, Bergen is currently setting purple sectors, so he is closing that gap down quickly. He's taken a third of it away from Dariog in that sector alone.
Yeah, he's a man on a mission. He's not Tier 3 champ for no reason at all. And he's, he held himself well. He raced in Tier 1, of course, didn't he, on Monday night? And really did, really had a good race. I think he scored points, actually, in the end, didn't he? Did Bergen?
He did, I think so. Yeah. Kenichiwa is coming with him though. Kenichiwa is latched onto the back of Bergen, and they're trying to drive up to the back of Dariog. Yeah, I think once the DRS gets switched on, this could be spicy. But look at the speed that Kenichiwa's got at the moment. Yeah,
he got a good drive out of the last chicane, 23. Turn 23 and got on the back. A little bit twitchy though there, and Bergen's driven away. He's lost all of that. Julian's kind of getting left a little bit in the distance with Mindful Wasp for company. Case has dropped off as well. Bergen there sets the fast lap of the race. That shows the pace that he's got now. Of course, the all-important DRS is enabled. Oh, Derry's gone round outside of turn 2. He's got damage. Oh, it's a disaster. And I think that's a reset to track as well. That's unfortunate, and of course we don't allow the reset to track, so that may be looked at afterwards. That's just so unlucky. He was, like you say, he was driving away, a little bit of pressure, and now there we go. Bergen has got that 3-second penalty, but end plate damage to the McLaren of Dariog. Oh, that's so unlucky.
Yeah, that's the other thing with this track, isn't it? You don't have to lose it by much to start losing car parts, unfortunately, and it's frustratingly, even if you haven't lost any bits, sometimes you can lose them rejoining.
Yes, you can, yeah. There's a few little battles going further down T-Way Clear, Campus South. Kellogg's on the comeback trail, and Donny Osman as well. He's come from last, currently in 15th, just got passed from Kellogg's.
Well, he didn't get a chance to show his pace, did he? So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it certainly is. It is. See how he gets on. Obviously already up a little bit. I'm not sure what's happened to Stuvine. He's had a moment. Ocean SGPR and Gibbon are having a little bit of a ding-dong between them. I think all of them have already pitted. Let's have a quick look here. Gibbon didn't pit after his spin, but Ocean SGPR and Convertible have already pitted. They were together on track, so they maybe had a little bit of a coming together. Meanwhile, up top, Bergen 1.2 outside of that DRS range now from Kenichi Beach. Julian will have Mindful for company, but there's a little bit of a train going on behind. We've got Case Soze within the second gap. Collins Owl. Oh, Julian's gone around as well outside turn 2. No damage, missed the wall. Lucky for him. He's going to have to get that car turned around. We're going to, just to save his a little bit, we're going to move him out the way. But then we've got the two Red Bulls. Wow, nose to tail.
We've also got, oh goodness me, who's that? Is that Julian Schoon round? Yes, it is. I was in the middle of actually watching Kellogg's and Campus fighting, and they were having a right old ding-dong, and both of them went wide in turn one. And in the end, they've actually ended up in the same positions as they were before they started the fight.
Ah. And Donny's gone into the pits now as well, so that'll he was on good pace as well. He wasn't far off the back of those guys.
No, I mean there's no big movers and shakers up at the top really. It's people. I mean, Mindful Wasp is up 3, Collins Owl's up 3, but out of those guys, they're not far away from where they started really. But
no, but look at this battle for the lead, and Kenichiwa Beach. God, Bergen must have made a big mistake. He was 1.2, and we kind of left that battle now. Kenichiwa Beach has now passed under the DRS. Bergen will get it down the main straight though. Is he going to get the best exit? Is he going to be in the slipstream? Is he going to have enough? Is he going to have enough straight line speed? Is the straight long enough? DRS will be wide open. Kenichiwa Beach sets the fast lap. Bergen actually pulls out of the slipstream there, so maybe just quite happy sitting there for a couple of laps and see what Kenichiwa Beach can do. Oh, there is, it's 3 abreast. Oh, it's a nearly contact, nearly, and then again from Collins Soze, and Queen Liz has now joined the back of that fight with Mindful Wasp in the lead of that quartet. Oh, I can see Tier 1 all over again. My voice is not going to cope with this. But for all the right reasons.
I'm very surprised. We've got people who are pitting already, haven't we?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of them, and I don't know if it's just a little bit of damage that cause end plate damage, or seen a few more people spin as well as Deriog's in the pits as well. A lot of penalties as well coming thick and fast.
Yeah, I mean the back third of the grid has now stopped. So yeah, obviously some of those are damaged, but I think some of them are by choice as well, which is interesting because tyre wear is low here. So
yeah, you can easily get 10 laps out of the soft tyres. We saw, I think, some people are doing 13, 14 laps almost.
Yeah. I mean, the deg is really, really low. It's so there's. I'd be surprised if maybe there's been some damage which we haven't spotted, but it just seems like an awful lot of people who've stopped already.
Yeah, looking at this battle now. Collins Owl gets past Mindful Wasp as Keso's trying to go on the outside of the Alpha Tower. He does! Wow, good move around the outside. So he lost 2 places this time, Mindful Wasp, but now he will have the DRS. Collins Owl will be the sitting duck, or the sitting horse, potentially a pony, going down the main straight, but manages to defend Keso. Tries to go on the outside, doesn't, almost leaves it open for Mindful Wasp. Queen Liz has tried to have a quick look on the inside, and he's been spun round. Queen Liz has gone round. He's in face first into the wall, and that's allowed. Oh, there's a yellow flag. Yeah, just the yellow flag. No any kind of safety cars or virtual safety cars yet, thank goodness. And that's allowed both Red Bulls just sitting there, just in tandem, just doing their own little thing, which... Look, I did bring it up. Where's it gone? There it is.
Oh, I just watched Carl go slightly wide by a few inches and get a penalty there. And the penalties are really racking up as well. There's a lot of penalties happening.
There is. Let's have a quick look at them while we say things will calm down. They never do for very long. So, most drivers have got 3 seconds. Campus has got 11 so far. That's I wonder how we got those.
Only 8 seconds. Only 8 drivers are penalty free at the moment.
Yeah, so that's going to play a big part over the end. And look at this case, it's Ozzy all over the back of Collins Owl. He's going to have the DRS now down through, I can't remember which corner numbers they are. There's quite a few. This is 25 and 26, and then into that's going. He does get past, but now Collins Owl will be the prancing horse this time round, not the lame donkey, and he will have the DRS and of course ARS deployment, I'm sure. We welcome everybody who's watching this evening. Welcome, please add your comments, please join the discussions on YouTube. Matthew Sullivan, yep, thanks for that. Jamie Bithell, Sally's going for Colin has an elephant. Mandy says no rain. Dean Martin,
I thought he was dead.
Yes, I die. Is risen, and he's supporting Kenichiwa, who's currently 4 tenths ahead at the moment. Oh, his case also goes very, very wide. And of course, our very own Braveheart Banshee is finished work, I presume, or managed to break away from the telephone and screaming at customers, and now he is here and watching the action and he'll be gearing up to race in Tier 4 coming up later on this evening, about an hour's time. Dean Martin, he's not dead. Brilliant.
He must be very old.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the original version of Ocean's 11 from the 1960s. What's he talking about?
Yeah, was he part of the Rat Pack?
Oh, Collins Al made a very, very opportunistic move there.
He did, and this is side by side. And that's side by side through left, right, all flat out. It's going to have the inside line. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? Oh, Gator takes the wide line. That's actually quite a good move. Now then, here we go through 25 and turn 26. Is DRS going to be open? Now, he's decided, yeah, he does open it, but closed it again. Oh, there's a full safety car. Full safety car. Now, we haven't seen where that is. It doesn't look like there's anybody spun round or nobody has retired. Going to have a quick flick through. Bergen takes the opportunity to pit. Not a bad time to pit, to be fair. Case does he pit? He does.
I think it's Ocean Tame. It's Ocean Tame.
Oh, that convertible's DNF. That convertible has, unfortunately, let's have a look. Oh, he's got no wing, no wheel left at all. Gibbon's going to be the next one up to have a look at that. Yeah, he's gone through turn. Oh, where's that second sector? That is about turn 17, I think it is, and he's just got out of sorts. And that
was very odd because his dot was still moving on the map, but I'm guessing it's because he was bouncing along the wall. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that's
I was looking at the car markers on the track map, and everybody was moving, but then one of them ground to a halt and obviously didn't have a wheel on it, so it must have been moving without a wheel.
Yeah, a lot of drivers taking the opportunity to pit. Some of them yet again. I'm just trying to look see if any drivers have got damage. Oh, there, yeah, Ocean Tame. Yeah, he's got no front wing. And anybody else? Julian's going to pit.
You would expect everybody to pit at this point, surely.
Yeah,
I can't see that.
Didn't. Some people have decided not to pit. The Kanichwa Beach Manful, Wasp, and Carl, TY Clear, Kellogg's, SGPI's only pitted 4 laps ago, so he doesn't need to pit. But yeah, the top guy, those guys haven't pitted yet. I mean, TY Clear 7 laps on the mediums, yeah, only maybe halfway through his stint. Yeah, you could get those quite a bit further, so I can understand that. I mean, the softs that we mentioned can go another good few laps, so maybe taking that chance.
Yeah, I mean, seems like madness to me, but you know, let's see what happens. Bergen is currently sitting very pretty there on his brand new mediums in 3rd position.
A few drivers have come out on the hard tyre as well. Queen Liz, Julian Schoen, and Jadian, he's lost the back end and he's gone backwards into the wall and retired as well. Those cold medium tyres just not offering grip just yet. So Kanitra Beach has now decided to go and pit. Mindful was the one that went to pit. Apologies. You'd probably say a lap too late. He's going to drop all the way to the back of this crocodile. But yeah, Queen Liz on the hard compound tyres. Julian Schoen on the hard compound tyres. And so is Gibban as well. They'll easily go to the end, but are they quick enough?
I mean, I can kind of see it because the likelihood is that there will be another safety car, but those 8-lap-old softs, they're going to be getting a bit stale by now. I mean, I reckon they'll probably do 12, feeling fairly okay, but they start dropping off after that, and that's only a few laps. So they're going to have to pit at some point, and yeah, it's a one-stop race. So not pitting under that safety car, I don't know. It seems a little bit like madness to me because if you're going to stop twice under the safety car, you do it if there's a late one. Yeah. I mean, historically, so far this week, we have seen that there have been multiple post-safety car incidents where the safety car goes in, there's immediately an incident and the safety car's back out again. But that doesn't help you either because you're still going to be in the same position and everyone else is still next to you. So it's not like you can open a gap up if there's an immediate safety car and pit under the second one. You're on a hide into nothing there, really. You might as well pit now and then drop to the back as opposed to under the next safety car. So
yeah,
exactly. Not quite getting that strategy, but I hope to be proven wrong.
Yeah, it's okay if you're at the front. You can try to scamper away and hope everyone else trips over one another. Some with a tyre warmer problems, some with a bit more worn tyres than others. Safety car potentially could come in this lap, depends how far back Deriog and Ocean Tame are. I think it normally goes about now, so I think we may have another lap under the safety car. So, quick run through. Obviously, we know that the Kyle, Mr. Bergen, has won Tier 1 with a absolutely fantastic performance. Only been outside of the points twice this season, with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 victories to his name, another podium position and a 5th place, and quite a pronounced victory. Currently 58 points ahead of Simba, who's sitting there quite pretty on the medium tyres in 8th spot. Further back from that, we have Mr. Brave, who isn't actually racing tonight, couldn't make it, so he could potentially, let's have a look, well, if Carl has a good race and is currently sitting there in 3rd, he could potentially take that spot and take 3rd in the championship.
So that's and sort of championship positions at this stage are going to relate to driver moves as well, so there's a lot to play for. We, as I've already mentioned whilst you were talking to your boss earlier, we have vacancies. We will have permanent drives available in the next season. So drivers who are engaged, racing and doing a good job will get offered permanent seats. So there's a lot on the table here. It may well be, there may even be additional promotions based on possible departures in sort of higher tiers as well, but expect to see a lot of vacancies specifically in tier 4 and certainly in some in tier 3 as well.
I think there's quite a few in tier 3, isn't there? There's going to be a lot of movers and shakers come the conclusion of this of tonight.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tier 4 ultimately is a feeder tier, and the whole idea of Tier 4 is you get in, you get your eye in, and then you start moving up through the tiers. And obviously Tier 3 is very, very similar to Tier 4, it just doesn't have the line. And lots of our Tier 4 drivers have driven perfectly well and happily in Tier 3, and therefore they should be able to sort of make that step up without too much hesitation.
Exactly.
And the safety car is coming in.
Certainly is. If there is another safety car, we will go to the constructors, because of course that is not set in stone yet either. Constructors Championship is still all to play for. Kenichiwa Beach is now the de facto safety car coming into the last corner. Let's ride aboard. Let's see when he decides to go. Bergen on his tail. Carl as well, nice and eager, but there we go. Gets the car in a straight line and decides to go early, and I think the glitch has happened where he actually got close to the safety car and it slowed him down. That's really unlucky, because I know he decided to go. That's caught out. Carl's getting swamped. He's having a bit of a battle with Collins and Case of Soze. And Collins out side by side to turn 1 and turn 2. Case of Soze gets it. Oh, a little bit of wheel bashing. Well, Case of Soze managed to hold on, but that's now put Collins out under pressure from the Mercedes of T.Y. Clay. Couldn't make it stick that time. And we are as we were, folks. There's no position changes on that safety car restart. That's that glitch happened again by the looks of it on board with Kenichiwa Beach then.
Well, let's hope it was the glitch, because otherwise it was a bit of a dodgy restart. So I had my heart in my mouth. I was watching Kellogg's coming into turn 2 in a 4-wheel drift.
Wow.
It's very impressive. He's unfortunately just lost 2 positions in one go there as well.
I thought he had a moment. I actually skipped to the bottom. I hope expect maybe he had a spin, but no, that's just a bit unlucky there. Those 10-lap-old soft tyres that you were mentioning, Martin, earlier, that you said don't feel as too sweet at the moment. Now Carl's lost a place now to Case of Soze. Side by side they are through, well, it comes to the flat-out S's. Who's going to be... He's going to be... Oh, that's a bit close. The Ferrari's looking a bit tasty. He's looking interested. No, Case of Soze makes it. He's got the fresher tyres, a bit more grip, and further back we've got T.Y. Clay has now got past Licious V. Licious V actually is on the back of the Mercedes, 2 Mercedes Power, and Licious V's used a lot of his ERS, but he gets the inside line into the last corner on the hard tyres as well, so he's got them working really well. Now T.Y. Clay is going to have a bit more drag, he's going to have the bit more acceleration. He does. Look at the grip difference though, the traction.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's tyres are going to be cold for that first lap and then warm up slightly in the second. But yeah, I mean, I think we saw people re-pitting to get off the hards in Tier 1, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I'm sure there was some people that went in and a few laps went back in again and got rid of them because they just couldn't use them.
Yeah,
so
I did that as well in our race. I did the same thing.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I was running clean air, absolutely on my own, and just losing a good second lap to everybody. I thought, yeah, this is not fun. And in the excitement, we've actually still got Sosa having a little look at Collins out, but we've had a change for the lead as well. Bergen is now nearly a second ahead of Konichiwa. Those soft tyres really starting to hurt now. Carl's still making the most of what he can with them, trying to eke it out, but Lichtenstein's dropped a bit further back. That battle with TY Clear. Simba's joining that one on the fresh tyres. He's going to be interested, trying to get past TY as quick as he can, knowing that TY will not have pitted. And also, you'll see the penalties as well ahead of that, and just be thinking, right, you can buy the bargains time, but with pit stops, he'll see the gaps opening up and want to get past as soon as possible without the people disappear into the distance.
Carl is about to be toasted, I think. He's about. I wouldn't be surprised if this could even be a double pass because the two cars behind him are both really close.
They are. Who's that that's dived into the pits? DRS now enabled. That's Konichiwa. He has bailed. 11 laps he did on the softs. He's going to drop a lot of places down. Is he going to have a look? Collins all into turn one. Carl leaves him a little bit of space. But there, nothing. He just backed out wisely there. He knows he's got the better tyres. Look at the traction difference. He's alongside. No, backs out of there. That's not really an overtaking spot. Bill a bit now up through the left-hander of turn 4. And then it's pretty much line of stern, isn't it? Single file through the first sector, unless you make a big mistake.
Everyone's running wide there. I was about to say that there are 3 people left without penalties. And just as another penalty popped up for SGPR there, but yeah, the penalties are coming so thick and quick. It's this could be a race won by the most accurate driver tonight.
Yeah, it could be. Could make a big difference. Collins got past Carl on the DRS. Now Casey Jose's turn. He's going to be keen to get past. He knows Carl's been a long time, and there we go. Look at just the overall speed there. I think that's the second DRS zone, and yeah, Casey Jose gets past. Doesn't manage to run too far wide, so he'll get away with that one. But here we go, as he's going to have DRS as well on Collins Owl. That 3.7 gap to Bergen. Bergen can just manage the pace, but he can't get too complacent. The gap's not big enough just yet. But this is where Collins Owl's going to really have to put the hammer down. Carl now under pressure from the hard tyre shod Queen Liz. Royalty coming through thick and fast in the Williams. And now we're going to have another battle. There's a little bit battle further on. This is Simba and Julian Schoon having their own little ding-dong. Simba got past 1 or 2, lets a little bit of room and decides to keep there. And I think there's a little bit of a late lunge. Mindful was TY Clear having a bit of a battle. Now Mindful's got a penalty. There's only Konichiwa and Simba left with no penalties.
The sharp intake of breath was I was just watching Lizzie basically driving rally style behind Carl there. Totally sideways.
Oh,
has made it through.
How's he overtaken it? What an well, I mean, credit where credit's due. That's opportunistic, without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean, there's a big tyre difference now. Surely, I mean, I think those tyres are definitely for the bin. 13 lap softs. That's the oldest set of tyres of any kind on the track, along with 13 lap old tie clear mediums. Yes. So those tyres are going to be the least advantageous available at the moment.
They certainly are. We're going to be on board with Simba. The Lion King has got another hard-tired car behind him. The Red Bull's not looking so good on the tyres so far. You'd expect Simba to start pulling away and closing the gap to his teammate. Simba could potentially go to the end. That won't feel very nice towards the end, but can potentially go there. But Julian's going to have the DRS. Is he going to have a move? I love this helicopter car, man. It's just cut away into the last corner. Simba goes defensive. Is Julian going to have a good run out of the last corner? Let's ride on board. DRS wide open. Simba got a good one, but he's used a lot of his DRS. The light's flashing. Julian just says thank you very much and blitzes past this stricken Red Bull. That's a Red Bull Zero. That one, we need a bit more caffeine, a bit more pace in there.
Ocean Tamer made a move, braked so late, nearly took out the car in front of the one he was overtaking.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Unfortunately, nothing actually came of it. Everyone avoided each other, but I think another thing I was saying earlier on was you can very easily lose your braking point in turn 1 if you're passing on the inside. Because a lot of people, including myself, focus on where the curb is on the right-hand side of the track to pull the braking point. And if you're on the inside, you can't see it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. You're kind of using the other car as a brake marker, and if they're trying to outbrake you and you trying to outbrake them, it's you end up not braking at all. Yeah.
It's a good old battle here between Ty Clear, Ocean Tamer and Deriog, though. Deriog's looking super racy at the back of those three, but I think he's waiting for the other two to fall over each other by the looks of things.
Yeah, we're looking at this one. Collins Al gets another 3-second penalty, but he's got Case Suzuki and Queen Lizzie. Oh, there's almost 3 abreast. Queen Lizzie's DRS lights flashing, but the DRS is powerful enough, and Collins Al gets overtaken twice. I'll tell you what, Queen Lizzie, though, double overtake with the first DRS. Oh, and he got a big tag slapper, and that's caused a bit of contact with Case Suzuki. Innocent victim, to be perfectly fair with that one. Queen Lizzie, nothing he could do. That's so unlucky. Just those hard tyres didn't give him enough grip, and he's now lost those places. Collins Al takes it back, but Case Suzuki did exactly what you mentioned there, Martin. Managed to get their brakes on now. He's lost the places.
Yeah, I think Lizzie may be regretting going for the hards just because of the fact that if that was a set of mediums on that car, he'd be absolutely flying.
He would, but maybe taking a chance to go to the end. But he's still doing really well. He's still got good pace in that Williams.
He has, but I mean, a set of mediums would have done the job as well. So, I mean, I guess the hope is that those tyres will be quicker than the worn mediums towards the end. And he's second now, and he's only 7 seconds behind Bergen.
But these guys squabbling has allowed Bergen to disappear into the distance. Let's have a quick look at his ERS. He's only got 14% though of its ERS, so we'll have to have a look where they're using as much of that. Yeah, still using the overtake button a little bit more, and it's...
Yeah, Bergen's on 60, so...
Yeah.
Collins Al on 30, Kaiser Soze on 60. So it's a 60 sandwich there between Bergen and Kaiser Soze, with the two guys in the middle with a bit less. So it could well be that we'll see Kaiser Soze making a bit of a comeback in a minute, I suspect.
Yeah, Ocean Tamer going on the outside through turn 26 as expected with the DRS. Unfortunately, Ocean Tamer left the session. I hope that's just a bit of an internet glitch and he gets back in soon, currently in 14th, but now has pitted for the medium tyres and he can easily go to the end with those. Ganitra Beach hasn't made as much progress as I thought on those hard tyres. Julian Schoon has now passed Simba, has now got Mindful Wasp for company.
Kaiser Soze's just spun in turn 2.
Oh no, that was a 3-way battle for the lead. That's allowed quite a few drivers. Julian Schoon, Julian Carey, as our great Gav calls him. Simon's passed, and Mindful Wasp and the Lion King. Alicious Fee's out! Alicious Fee's out to the third place. Big crash. That's a huge crash. Full safety car is out. Well, we didn't see what happened, but that's a huge accident. I don't know if he just maybe turned in early, or those hard compound tyres. And who's that on the side of the road? There's somebody else there. That was Scamper South as well, is out of the session. So 2 retirements in the space of, 3 corners really, and all at once.
Yeah, and that's played really badly, unfortunately, for a few people who've literally just been into the pits. The biggest loser there possibly going to be poor old Carl. He's literally, after we were saying about making those tyres not last too much longer, he's pitted and immediately the safety cars come out. Yeah,
let's have a look. We're going to go back to Bergen. What would Bergen do? I mean, if he's got a spare set of softs, he's got a 5-second gap, and then 8 seconds to Julian Schoon, to Julian Carey. Let's have a look, see if he pits. Would he go for the track position? Yeah, he's deciding to go in. Okay, so ignoring yellow flags. That's a strange one for Case Soze. That might be looked at afterwards. And Bergen gets 5 seconds of speeding in the pit lane. Sometimes that will let you serve that straight away. Let's just keep with this. Collins Owls also pitted. No, he didn't actually serve it, so that's going to be added on to the end of the race for him. Julian has also pitted off the hard compound tyres. Simba is in as well. I think you'd have to see if you got some softs. It's worked well for Simon. For Baby Hornet.
In Tier 2. This is exactly what happened in Tier 2 about the same stage in the race, isn't it? Everybody came in and put softs on. I think you've got to. As soon as the person as soon as the people in front of you are doing it, you start thinking to yourself, well, I'm only going to get left behind if I don't. So, yeah, everyone's... Konnichiwa, yep, he's done it as well. So, yeah, everybody is now on fresh softs. Apart from Ocean Tame, who had just gone on to mediums, by the looks of it.
I haven't seen him come back in yet, and I think that might be Stephen Cooper who says his game's crashed. So hopefully we can get an invitation to him and he can get back in, because he's, currently still sat in the points. So he definitely wants to get back in. Stasha says, where is Dare? That is a very good question. Where is Dare? We actually don't know. Yes, call me, well, whatever you want to call him. We won't call him brave because he's not here. He's not brave enough to face the streets of Jeddah this evening. He is MIA, missing in action, currently in Saudi. We think his passport was revoked. His visa has expired.
So who was after an invite? I can get them invited in whilst we're watching the safety car.
Ocean Tame, it will be.
Okay.
So hopefully he will be able to get back in.
Invite sent.
Perfect, so I know he's watching. Hopefully he'll get back in the session. He's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage. There he is. Fantastic. Able to take control of his car. We're going to have at least another lap behind the safety car. Few drivers still going through the end of sector 1. That'll be Gibb.
So what's going to be interesting now is the penalties again, isn't it? We have Bergen, Collins, Owl and Julian Schoon have got 8, 9, 6. Simba has none.
Ooh.
So this could be interesting, couldn't it? Especially if, God forbid, there's another safety car.
Yep, certainly will. Mindful with 3. Simon's in a good place. Mindful with 6. Simon with 3. Konnichiwa can get back up there as well. This could be handy for him. After that, the pit stop and the very early pit stop. Ocean Tame, unfortunately, 15 seconds. Duvine, 14 seconds. Yeah, I think Simba's... Bergen had his for speeding in the pit lane. With that one. Not a lot you can do with that one.
No, indeed. But it's just... we did say very early on this could be a race of keeping your nose clean. You did?
Yeah, you called it.
Konnichiwa also has no penalties as well. There's some people who stand to gain quite a bit here. There's a lot of 6-second penalties, a lot. At the moment, Ocean Tame and Duvine have both got sort of the higher end of the penalties, 15 and 14. And obviously with so few laps left, there's not an awful lot of time left to win very much back either. So
that's going to be the key, isn't it? It's of what people can do. Bergen might have been thinking, okay, he's okay, he can maybe push if he needed to bridge the gap. Well, at the time he only had 3 seconds, so he was kind of comfortable with the gap he had. I think he had about 6 or 7 seconds over Collins. Got an elephant. And then we got Julian Carey, but I think just the pit stops have made a big difference to that. And this, like you say, the safety car's just completely thrown that up in the air. And Simba's must be rubbing his hands at this prospect now.
Yeah, I mean I was looking at his lap time just now, and okay, he's not had the most devastating overall lap time, but we were having this chat before the race and saying about how it's the kind of race where it's worth not pushing to the limit, keeping your nose clean, because at some point the field's going to get bunched up, and lo and behold, he's kept his nose clean, hasn't pushed so much that he's picked up penalties, and the safety car has come out with a few laps to go, and he's right in for the win.
He certainly is, and now safety car in this lap. It's a bit of a later call than normal, but the car's just catching up, Giban. I think it was Deriog as well. He's unfortunately the biggest loser, down 12 spots from the pole position. But let's ride on board with Bergen now. Hopefully we won't have that safety car glitch. Getting that last bit of heat into his tyre is going to let the safety car get well into the pits. And we're going to go racing very shortly. Doesn't want to give anybody as much slipstream as possible. And there we go. We go racing once again. Bergen does not get a good jump on Collins Owl. There's cars left, right and centre trying to break toe, trying to gain toe. Mindful Wasp and Julian Clary side by side. Mindful Wasp into turn 1. He's now got inside of turn 2 and makes that move. Good move, but no, Julian Clary comes back. There's wheel to wheel. This is going to be very, very tight. Yes, Mindful did have to unfortunately give way. This is going to give Simba a little bit of impetus, but he's runs a little bit wide, and this is giving Simon Baby Hornet a little bit of a... oh, that was T.Y. Clay going very, very wide. Now, Kenichi, I think, just got a penalty, so only Simba left. I think we only had one driver left in Tier 1, I think it was. Tier 2 with no penalties.
That was me.
I was going to say, that was yourself.
Unfortunately, Simba got balked then because he was right up on the gearbox of the car in front, and as he had to give way, I think it was Mindful Wasp, wasn't it, fighting with Julian Schoon. He lifted and Simba had
unfortunately. The safety car again. We've got another safety car. Ocean Thames lost it in the hairpin, and maybe that's actually put the car in the middle of the track. So here we go again, folks. I mean,
well, Mark's going to be rubbing his hands together now for sure, isn't he? Because this is, even if we just have one lap under the safety car, it's another lap where the leaders can't extend this gap to win.
Yeah, exactly. So, Bergen got a good jump on Collins, and they were driving away a little bit from Julian Clare, who had to battle with Mindful that allowed the top two to get away. And you're right, this is now going to allow Simba, like you said, just to rub his hands, just think, thank goodness for that. And he can actually just sit there. Let's have a look. What's Mindful got in terms of penalties ahead of him?
6.
6 as well. So yeah, he can potentially just sit where he is. I mean, no driver
wants to do that. That's
assuming
they don't get any more as well, obviously.
Exactly. Well, yes, of course. And bear in mind, as long as Simba keeps it clean now as well and doesn't run wide.
Yeah, I think he's going to be hyper focused on not gaining any penalties at this point. It's going to be his absolute, preoccupation. I mean, at this stage, he'd have to be quite unlucky to lose many positions to those around him, because everybody behind him's got a penalty as well. So he's nailed on for a good result here in some way, shape or form, unless something goes hysterically wrong.
Yeah, definitely that. And you say never, especially in MRC, especially in the Formula 1 and MRC. Who knows what's going to happen? And we've seen it, especially through Tier 1. The exciting drag races to the line. A few places won decided by literally thousandths of a second. A lot of winners and losers this time on. We did start to look at the position changes. So past it, there we are. So Collins up 6, Simba now 5 places, Baby Hornet up 5, T.Y. Clay up 9, Boothie up 5, Carl up 4. He was mentioned quite a bit of a loser, unfortunately, out of that. So he's actually probably, well, not looking forward, not enjoying these safety car periods for him to get himself back up ahead of, so say, Boothie. And, well, he was with his teammate, wasn't he, before all of the safety car catastrophes.
Indeed, he's possibly going to make some positions with the penalties as well, because he is one of the 3 equal fewest people with the fewest penalties, is what I was trying to say there, which is Carl, Kenichiwa and Baby Hornet all just have those 3-second penalties. So they've got they've got the least to lose.
Surprisingly, the safety car hasn't come in this lap. It's going to do another cycle round.
I can almost hear the party poppers going off in Simba's cockpit at the moment.
Yep, we're going to have a 3-lap shootout at the end of this. So don't go anywhere, folks.
No DRS.
I'm asking what the penalties are. They are up on the left-hand side of the screen. Only Simba has kept it clean so far.
So yeah, this is going to be a DRS-free sprint to the finish.
It is, yes. Very true. Didn't think about that bit. So this is now pure pace alone, and who's going to have the grip? Who's going to be able to get the heat in the tyres and keep the wear off them as well? Because it's one thing keeping the heat in the tyres, but it's also keeping the wear off it as well.
Well, in terms of car performance, it's now absolutely equal, because everyone's on the same tyres of the same age, with the same sort of aero limitation without the DRS, and the same amount of ERS available as well. So it couldn't be more equal.
Yeah, I mean, we know that. Where's he gone? Where has he gone? Oh, unfortunately, yes, of course, Queen Liz, he was quite heavy on his ERS in the early stages. I think really unlucky, because he was having a fantastic race, finally getting to have a race with us. And yeah, unfortunate to DNF. Those hard tyres were working well as a strategy that could have worked out quite well for him. And I think he'll be now, though, in the same position as all of the drivers.
They're just so hard to hold on to, though, aren't they? That's the thing. Did he go out on the hards? Was he on the hards? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they have cost him ultimately. I suspect. We saw him repeatedly having big, leery rear end moments, didn't we? So
yeah,
it's they were clearly a handful, to say the very least.
Yeah, they were, but he seemed to have good pace. So, I mean, if he's still watching, then keep your head up, and hopefully you'll be joining us next season. So now the safety car does decide it's had enough laps of the Jeddah circuit. It has decided to bail into the pit lane, and we are going to have a 3-lap sprint to the finish. When he's right, yeah, we may have DRS on the last lap. I think it's 2 laps, and then it'll be available for the third. So that's where the movers and shakers are going to be. We'll jump on board this time with Colin Haas. Well, hopefully he's going to be hoping for a prancing horse. He's going to hope for a cheetah under that red car so he can challenge Bergen, keep ahead. And now Bergen decided this time he has gone early. He decided to go late on the first time out, but caught them a little bit napping. Collins out 7/10 back. Julian Schoener's got Manful Wasp ready for company this time. Simba got caught napping a little bit, but so did SGPR, because they still had the last car to go through. A little bit of contact between Manful and Julian. That's a little bit of the overspeed. No damage done, no harm done. But away we go, and Carl's had a bit of a moment. There's a few cars a little bit ghosted actually with Case of Soze. They're well, that's one way to be a sister team. To be on top of one another. But now Case Soze's got the place.
He's going to have to work a bit harder. He's lost 3 1/3 seconds to the leader already.
He has. He really has. Simon went a little bit wide through the exit of that last corner, and the last of sector 1. But yeah, he is going to have to really get those tyres up and running. He's maybe just a little bit too cautious for what he needs. Julian Schoen dropping back like he did before. Of course, you're not able to quite hold the pace of the top 2, but Bergen as well streaking ahead into the distance, nearly a second. Well, it is now a second ahead of Colin Haas. Well, not quite a cheater, but and very wide as well. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. That's Kellogg's has gone round the snack crackle, and his rear end has popped and he has spun round once again. He's now in 14th with Deriog for company. Unfortunately dropping a little bit further back. Carl's had a bit of a moment, a bit of a pull. Both Red Bulls having a bit of a struggle at this restart lap, and he's dropped way back from Case of Soze. Bergen setting the fastest lap. Wow, that's a heck of a lap for the safety car restart to get the fastest lap of the race, using as much of his ERS as possible. As now Simon's side by side with the Lion King himself, Baby On and Lion King side by side through 1 turn by 2 as well. Simba goes a little bit wide, doesn't get the traction though, so now Simon has got past. This is disaster for what Simba needs to potentially get the race victory, and now he's got the Mercedes all over the way, and does look like he's got really understeer on that car. He's not looking happy.
Yeah, within 2 laps he's now outside the race win with that time penalty benefit he's got. He's now 6.7 seconds behind Bergen, so that he's still kind of on for a podium. Not a big gap to third.
Well, the penalties, if he's 6.7, Bergen has 8 seconds worth of penalties, so he might just begin it. Let's have a quick look at the times. We're going to have to look to the leader now. Yeah, 6.97 seconds. Bergen only needs one more second to do well. Yeah.
Needs some fast laps here to stay in that window, though. So I kind of, he's dropped 3.5 seconds per lap. So it's making me feel uncomfortable.
It is, and I'm sure it's going to be making him sweat a little bit as well. Mandy will be giving him all the encouragement possibly can. Either that or been told to get out of the room and keep quiet so he can focus. Either one. So this is. Also, let's see, who's this also going to pay dividends for? DRS. It is enabled on the last lap. This is going to be huge for, not really the race win. There's nobody really in DRS. This is going to be huge for Simba, who's going to have it come the 2 DRS zones late on. But what is going to happen? When will the DRS, when will he choose to make the move onto Simon, who goes very, very wide through turn 2? It is going to allow Simba to have the run. It's not quite, he's not close enough. Doesn't quite have the grip as well in those soft tyres, but only half a second, 4/10, as I think there's a big crash further back. That was T.Y. Clear, the Mercedes man, got very, very wide, and I think has had a big incident with the wall. Keeps on going though, luckily for the Mercedes man. He's now in 10th, he's now got Carl for company. Well, now Simon, that's so devastating for Simon because he could have been on for some places. Konnichiwa Beaches all over the back. Oh, Simba, I know should be looking at the lead and we will come to that, folks, but this is the closest. This could potentially on penalties. Big. Mandy's in the room, but she's keeping quiet. I thought you.
Ironically, Simon getting past Simba may actually help Simba down the final straight. It might actually bring him back into that 8 seconds.
It would, but look at Konnichiwa. He's pushing and pushing and pushing. He is not giving up. But here we go, folks. This is the last DRS run. How does Konnichiwa get the run? Oh, nearly contact. Nearly so close to get away with it. Good drive for both. Just enough room. Simba's going to have the DRS wide open. He's going to have pressure from Konnichiwa. But it's Simon. He goes to the defensive side. He goes to the inside. Does he make the move into the last corner? Is he going to make it? Stick to it now. 3 abreast on the exit. A little bit of contact. This is going to be another drag race to the line. Who's going to have the DRS? It's side by side. I think the Asin just gets it. Simba second. 4/10. Bergen takes the win on track and under penalties. Julian takes third. Great race from the reserve drive. Mindful takes fourth. Colin had, more of just a normal pony this time around, unfortunately, to get fifth, but still a fantastic race. Konnichiwa up into sixth at the end. Baby Hornet after the penalties takes 7th. Queso Soze in 8th. Boothie 9th. Carl gets the last remaining point in 10th. That could... we'll have to look at the constructors. I think it means Alfa Romeo's won the constructors. Gibbon outside the point. Stubai and T.Y. Clear in the Mercedes. Deriog in 14th. And Kellogg still, unfortunately, had a poor last lap and he just crosses the line. Sorry, Bergen, we did miss that because we were focusing on the action to see you crossing the line, but it didn't disappoint in the end. Last couple of laps.
I was holding my breath. I was holding my breath through sector 3 there. I don't know whether you spotted it, but that little battle that Simba was having right at the end through that final sector, it cost him a few tenths, and he was just about 0.2 of a second behind that win when that fight started, and by the end he dropped to 0.5 of a second. So without that happening, he might have done it. It was so close. It was so close.
It was very, very close. Bergen, what a great race from him. Started third, takes the win. Simba 10th to 2nd. Fantastic race. Great battle at the end, and the only driver to not have a penalty. Still got to be pretty chuffed with that. Julian takes third, the last podium position. Really good race as well. Mindful Wasp in 4th, Collins out 5th, Konnichiwa, SGPR, Queso Soze, Boothie and Bit round out the top 10. The rest of the drivers, of course, you can see for yourselves down there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been yet another incredible race from MRC. They like leaving it to the late. They love leaving it late for the big finales, don't they?
Yeah, well, the other thing that's worth saying is that although this track is not many people's favourite, it is definitely throwing up some exciting races, isn't it?
It has, hasn't it? Just,
I mean, have we had a single tier so far that hasn't had like a heart in your mouth finish?
Well, I don't know what happened in. Well, no, even our tier 2 had a bit of a heart in the mouth finish as well, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's all been absolutely down to the wire.
Yeah, and now, of course, we've got, the constructors is pretty much sewn up as well in Tier 4. The drivers are sewn up, but a lot of places for third, 4th, 5th, and 6th are all still to be decided in Tier 4 as well next. So there's still plenty to play for as well in the next, coming up in 20 minutes' time.
Yep, Tier 4 drivers, if you are listening, you are racing for seats, you're racing for promotions, you're racing for all sorts of things. So do the very best you can, because tonight is an important night for you.
It certainly is.
No pressure.
Yeah, like they need it. But no, thank you. That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you once again, MRC. Thank you, Tier 3 drivers, for all of the hard work you put in this season, for the fantastic racing as well. Very, very well done. And congratulations to Bergen taking the championship. You will be promoted next season. Congratulations to Mark on second in the championship as well. He will be with us. I think it'll be, it's Connor next with myself. So he'll be with us in the comments box next season. You will hear from the new Tier 2 driver.
Yeah, well, that's all been very fun. I've enjoyed being here.
Of course, yeah, I was about to say thank you as well to you. That is the Tier 3 wrapped up for this season. We're back in 2 weeks' time, where we'll be under the lights yet again, but in the desert of Bahrain for our season opener. Thank you, Martin. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you again.
I completely forgot to do all of my cheddar cheese jokes that I had lined up. Damn it.
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, we had those from the other night, didn't we? Yes. Well, I'm sure you'll be in the chat next to give them to Gav. So save them up. We'll get them on the stream in Tier 4, I'm sure.
Right. Well, thanks for all your commentary work this year, Mark. I've been or this season I've been enjoying your dulcet tones on the regular.
Thank you very much. Yeah, except when I do get a little bit higher pitch than normal, I should say.
You've gone stratospheric a couple of times this season. You seem to have developed a new octave that I've never heard you go into before.
Neither have I. The dogs are yapping downstairs, I think. But yeah, set them off a little bit. No, I think it's MRC's fault. I'm going to blame MRC because the racing that we've seen, especially in the last couple of rounds, has been on another level, and it shows. You know, we mentioned it before, and you mentioned it. That's what we're here for, and the improvements that everybody's made. It's just incredible.
Yeah, every season you see somebody sort of suddenly flick a switch somewhere and develop massively, don't you?
You do, and we've seen it quite a lot this season, I must admit. Probably most than other seasons. So it's been absolutely sensational season, absolutely brilliant.
Yep, well done, everybody.
Yep, thank you, everybody, for a great season. Thank you, Martin, for joining me, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. I'll be back in just over 15 minutes time, where we have Tier 4 race, and it'll be the T-side 1.5, the 1.5, with Connor will be joining, or James Acaster. He'll be with me in the box. So thank you again, Martin. Look forward to hopefully seeing you in the comms box next season, hopefully very soon.
I'm sure you shall. All right, cheers.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. Join us again shortly. We will be back. Take care now, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Night.